Ok. Caballeros, ustedes recibieron sus instrucciones. Aquí está bien, aquí no. Aquí está bien, aquí no. De la cintura para arriba. Y aquí no en plena limpia. Escúcheme, cuídate. ¿Listos? Vámonos.
Well, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., Sergio Maravilla Martinez. The middleweight championship is on the line. A lot has been said. They both predicted a knockout. Will it happen? Here we go. We're ready to find out.
This is a surreal moment for me because growing up watching Chavez, my parents are from Culiacan, Sinaloa, so obviously we're huge fans. And seeing Junior enter the ring with his father for so many years, and now he's here fighting, not only do I feel old, but this is pretty special.
Well, you mentioned age. That's the one thing a lot of people are wondering. Martinez at 37 years old. Is Father Time finally going to start catching up to him?
Well, Jaime Martinez is a young 37 because he hasn't had a lot of wear and tear on his body, because he started this sport so late, and because he is always in excellent condition and never out of shape, even between fights. And he lives a very clean, healthy lifestyle.
As we mentioned, both of them predicted knockouts. However, Martinez said it's not going to happen in one. It's not going to happen in two. I want to hurt Junior. I want to make him grovel. It's going to go into the 9th and 10th round, and then I'm going to stop him.
Again, I've never seen Martinez with such disdain for a fighter, and I don't think it's necessarily anything particular that Chavez Jr. has done. It's just under the circumstances in which he is the champion, really frustrates or makes Martinez, I should say, irate.
And in the early going, it's Martinez going forward, pressing the action.
And Chavez Jr., like his father, methodical slow starter. It's to see how the pace turns out. A nice left hook landed by Chavez Jr., being the first punch.
And that may be the key to the fight. Chavez's left hook to the body, punishing just like his father's.
Can he slow him down, and can he cut off the ring, and can he close the distance to land those shots are the big questions tonight.
Martinez fighting with his guard up, something we're really not used to seeing.
We're not, showing a level of respect, ironically, for Chavez Jr. and his power.
Martinez has said, if you see me fighting with my hands up, that means I'm in trouble. But I think it's too early to tell. And there he goes. The hands are down.
Have to take a couple shots to the phone here to tweet later on all the action at Top Rank from the apron. And there's a nice first body shot thrown by Chavez Jr.
And Martinez counters with his speed. Not too much action here in the first round, but it seems to have gone Martinez's way.
Chavez Jr. landing a nice left hook early on in the fight, and he threw one body shot, which landed with the right hand. You see Martinez starts picking it up, but Chavez's activity rate starts picking up. Big left from Martinez. And Martinez is not, much has been made about the size of Chavez Jr., but he's used to fighting big guys. Obviously, Paul Williams, big guy. Kelly Pavlik was a big guy. And both of those guys he handled, I wouldn't say with ease, but he knew what to do with them. So Chavez Jr. is not foreign for Martinez.
Well, that speed is what helps him. And when we think that Martinez may have landed, Junior says, is that all you got?
And Martinez says, wait, be patient. The bravado of Chavez, much to the dismay of many people, might work to his favor if he can get him to engage in toe-to-toe. But it's a little early to be handling the speed of Martinez, I think, if I'm Chavez Jr.'s camp.
A good left hand by Martinez. Chavez doesn't seem to be faced by it.
The best attribute that I think he inherited from his father is that chin. He's got a real solid, sturdy set of whiskers.
I've heard a lot of Mexicans say, not only that, but he inherited a couple of other little things.
Oh no, a couple
count.
other ones. Of course, I'm just saying the best one, I think, is his chin. Because you can teach a lot of things, but you can't teach a good chin.
That's for sure.
There's that nice hook, another one of those attributes. And this is what he wants to do, Jaime. He wants to keep him in the corner. He wants to keep him busy. He wants to attack the body just like he's doing right now.
And this is where Martinez does not want to be. He does not want to be inside with Chavez. Doing that precisely. Taking that left hook.
And I gotta say, I'm impressed with Chavez, his patience, and being calculated with his punches. But Martinez is very good at letting you build confidence and figuring you out and answering with big shots.
Martinez also has that awkward style. Not only is he a southpaw, but he's hard to decipher just because of the fact that he moves around so much. His hands are always down, and you never know what the angles those punches are going to be coming from.
You're exactly right, Jaime. And he's elusive, and he's quick with his feet, and obviously he's quick with his hands, and that's how he sets you up, and you fall into traps. And I know that's what they were worried to not fall into, and they want to get Martinez going back in straight lines and not chase him around.
Last 10 seconds of the second round. And now Junior tries to emulate Martinez.
And so far, I got to say, I'm pretty impressed because that's the type of fight he needs to fight.
Chavez Sr. usually calls the fights for one of the Mexican television networks. Not this one, ladies and gentlemen.
Right. It would have been hard to kind of be not biased in this one.
And Martinez, couple quick jabs and then the left hand, repeats the doses.
Chavez being very patient, not falling for a lot of the feints. Methodical.
And we knew that was the plan going in.
And I mean, like you mentioned, obviously, Martinez is incredibly athletic and very active, but he doesn't tire. He's not a guy that you wait to get tired in the later rounds and maybe you'll catch him. He can pretty much keep this up for all 12 rounds.
Again, that jab, like a whip from Martinez. Quick left uppercut.
Chavez really looks like a big middleweight against Martinez here. I mean, and the irony is that he weighed in lighter than Martinez, and clearly he's hydrated.
Well, he weighed in at 158 pounds.
Which is unbelievable how he made the weight.
He looks bigger than Mike Lee, who fought tonight at light heavyweight. And I would not be surprised if Chavez Jr. is around 175 or maybe even close to 180 pounds tonight.
No, you're exactly right. And you know, Jaime, a lot of people say that's a huge advantage, but if you had, that means you're a bigger guy. You have a bigger frame. You should be a little heavier. He had to kill himself to make that weight, and that takes a toll on your body.
Oh, nice left hand by Martinez.
That was a nice left hand, and Martinez finding some success, starting to time Chavez Jr. a little bit better.
And there he is, now with a right hook. This is where Martinez does not want to be, with his back against the ropes. He needs to get out of there. Avoid that left hook by Chavez.
Chavez doing a good job pressuring him, cutting off the ring so far. Martinez marking up the face a little of Chavez Jr. and doing a nice balance of upstairs and downstairs attacking.
Quick left hand by Martinez. And Junior may try to do something else tonight, Mario, and that is lean against Martinez, try to tire him a little bit, just because he's so much bigger.
Well, if he can catch him.
Oh, nice uppercut by Martinez.
Martinez starting to measure him. Starting to figure out the timing of Chavez Jr.
Everything's in control.
Martinez.
And now Martinez is waiting for Chavez in the center of the ring and says, come on, get up. He is ready to go.
Martinez extremely confident right now. Obviously had a big third round. Martinez really letting his hand go.
Martinez is definitely the aggressor tonight. I think he found the distance. He found the range.
And he started to time him. And Chavez having a little success standing toe-to-toe, and that's what he wants to do.
As we see here, Martinez is used to longer fights. Almost 7 rounds per fight for Martinez. Chavez Jr. just under 5 rounds per fight. The average, of course.
And as far as Chavez hoping he tires or slows down, obviously by the statistics he just read, it's not going to be the case based on history.
Incredible physique by Sergio Martinez.
Oh, Martinez looked like he just stepped out of a GQ magazine. The guy should be incredibly marketable. Never really has had a moment to break out or shine.
And there was a good hand by Chavez.
Big right hand by Chavez.
Big right hand by Chavez. Martinez seems to be taking them well, though.
He does, Jaime. He's taking him well, and he showed a good. He has hit the canvas a few times before, but he's always bounced back, and it's almost a product of him being off balance oftentimes too,
because of that awkward style.
Correct.
As well. But Chavez Jr. needs to make Martinez respect his punching power. Otherwise, he will be peppered tonight.
You're exactly right, and he needs to go back to working the body, but he's not giving him a chance to set his feet.
And see there, they shake hands, and quickly Martinez goes back to work. Doesn't let Chavez get into his rhythm.
And that's where Chavez needs to let his hands go, right there, and work that body, and work those uppercuts.
You got to remember, Chavez Jr. made his professional debut at 130 pounds.
It's unbelievable. The kid grew like a foot in a year, it seemed. And the fact that he even makes middleweight at this height is impressive.
That's why it's been so difficult as well to match him up. And why he had so much trouble making weight as well.
Yes.
And there's a quick short right hook to the body by Martinez. Oh, and there's a low blow.
Nice right hand by Chavez.
There we go, and Martinez says, okay, let's go. Oh, good left hand by Martinez to end the round. And I'm gonna ask you something when we begin this round, Mario. You know, we know you practice boxing. You're a true fan of the game. Martinez has such an unconventional style, and when he throws those punches, and they come from such a low angle, they come up not at a straight angle, but sort of at like a corkscrew, and that also can, you know, cut the opponent. And that is something that not a lot of people give him credit for. That's why he did what he did to Kelly Pavlik.
And that's why it's so hard to prepare for him, because it's hard to find. Where can you find sparring to emulate this guy? It's very, very difficult. It's very difficult for all the reasons you just mentioned. And so you think, logically, you fight straight, you put pressure on him, you work the body, it's going to slow a guy like this down. Well, it's easier said than done, and not a lot of people have been able to do it the last few years.
Good counter left by Martinez.
Chavez Jr. a little reluctant to let his hands go.
It seems like for every 5 that Martinez throws, there's only about 1 from Chavez. And he's not going to win this fight that way.
He's not, and a solid chin can take you so far, but he does have to let his hands go and does have to up his activity rate and get a little nasty in there, to tell you the truth. Because from the outside and trying to counterpunch, a master boxer like Martinez is not going to win.
I don't know if you remember on the 24/7, Chavez Sr. told his son, throw combinations to the shoulder, to his right shoulder. That's going to help you out. We haven't seen that yet.
I do remember that, and you know, it seemed like the father in that 24/7 series that you mentioned, seemed a little more passionate about this fight almost than the kids. They were portrayed him as maybe being a little aloof or maybe a little overconfident. And I like the bravado, but you got to be able to execute the game plan.
Couple good right hands by Chavez, but Martinez just shrugs him off.
Chavez letting his hands go a little bit more. Really needs to let his hands go, especially when he has them in the corners. He's able to get his back against the ropes.
Chavez said throughout the promotion, Martinez only comes to run. He doesn't fight for the people. Well, he's fighting here, Junior, let me tell you.
And he's got a lot of his people here too. So he's inspired, he's motivated, and so far he's really putting on a show.
Final 10 seconds of the 5th round. So far, it's been all Martinez. Her name is Frida. And yes, it's gut-wrenching.
Gut-wrenching, perfect way to describe it.
There's some puffiness over Chavez Jr.'s right eye. And not only is this the way that Martinez fights, this is the way he trains.
Very unorthodox way of training, and he doesn't do a lot of sparring. And, you know, obviously it's worked for him, but it's not such a bad method in the sense that he's fresh, he's hungry, obviously, to fight when he gets here. And that was a nice left hook by Chavez. And a nice counter by Martinez. And that's the body work that Chavez needs to work on.
Good body blow. Another one by Chavez Jr. And those are the weird angles that we were talking about, Mario.
And
that uppercut that it seems to come out of nowhere.
And that's the right hand that they want Chavez Jr. to throw that just missed and grazed the side of the face. But if he can land it, be a lot more success for him tonight.
And you know, you've mentioned, Mario, that Martinez doesn't tire. But you've got to wonder, he's the one that's doing most of the punching.
He is, but that's always the case in all of his fights, Jaime. And he hasn't tired yet. Yeah, he is older, but again, I think he's a very young 38, and you can't base him, you can't compare him to other 38-year-old fighters because he started so late and he lives a really clean, healthy lifestyle.
And Chavez Jr. bleeding from the nose.
Chavez Jr. showing a little more activity in this round. Nice body work by Chavez Jr.
Good short right hand by Martinez.
Nice right hand by Chavez Jr.
Right by Chavez Jr., yes.
And Martinez always answers with 5-6 punches when he gets hit to let you know that he's not hurt, and to show the judges that he is still in control.
And you know what? He made Chavez Jr. take a step back.
Which is rare. He also made Chavez Jr. jab right now, which you hardly see.
Chavez Jr. cannot retreat if he wants to have any respect for Martinez. And Martinez doesn't have much respect for Chavez's abilities.
And so far, I got to tell you, I think Martinez is at least impressed with his toughness and guile, but we're halfway or just about to reach the halfway point, and there's still a lot of fight left, both in time and in the fighters.
Oh, very quick hands by Martinez, makes him miss and caught him with two solid punches there at the end. Martinez very eager to start the 7th round. Always waiting for Chavez Jr. in the center of the ring.
I think showing him too psychologically, Jaime, that he's not getting tired. I'm ready. I need less rest. I'm older than you. Don't count on me to wear out. I'm going to be here all night, kid.
This is for the middleweight championship. One of the original weight divisions in boxing. One of the most prestigious titles there is in boxing. When you name names like Jake LaMotta, Sugar Ray Robinson, Carmen Basilio, Emil Griffin, Nino Benvenuti. And check out this graphic, ladies and gentlemen. Knockouts after 6 rounds. Martinez with 10, Chavez Jr. only 3.
Wow. Talk about Martinez, looks like he just gets warmed up and obviously stronger, but I think it's more effective because he's such an intelligent fighter. He figures you out and times you. And halfway through this fight, I gotta say, I have Martinez comfortably ahead, and Chavez's face is showing the worse for wear. And he's pretty much doing what he said he was gonna be doing.
Oh yes. So far, he's giving Chavez Jr. a lesson. You know, we mentioned the names. Probably the most significant for Martinez is Carlos Monzon.
Yes.
The great Argentine middleweight champ. You know, we have other names. Marvelous, Marvin Hagler, Sugar Ray Leonard, Tommy Hearns, Iran Barkley, Roberto Duran. The name just goes on and on.
Well, it's so impressive, and it's one of the more premier, exciting divisions in the history of the sport. And this is a matchup that we've been wanting to see for years, and finally Tom Brady's put it together, and you know, everybody's at the edge of their seat because...
You know what? Martinez is landing just about everything.
Yeah, at will.
What do you think people are going to say if this continues, Mario?
Well, if this continues, they're going to probably stop it. And speaking of which,
Tony Weeks is taking a very close look right now.
We may get dangerously close, but I'll tell you one thing, Chavez Jr. will not quit. He'd rather than stop it.
And he says, let's go. Chavez Jr. just said, vamos. But he needs to let his hands go.
He's breathing a little heavy, and maybe these are the rounds we were talking about with Freddie Roach, where the conditioning was questioned. The commitment was questioned, but Chavez Jr. showing a lot of heart and fighting with a lot of heart. And still trying to land his own. He lands a big right hand.
Good right hook there by Chavez Jr.
Chavez Jr. showing a lot of heart and answering right now, fighting like a warrior. And Martinez fighting on the inside. 10 seconds left. Tough kid. To us that if Martinez goes a little more to his body, he feels Chavez Jr. will quit on his stool.
Wow.
We'll see if that's the case, and he answers.
That would be huge.
And would not go over well in the Mexican community.
Not at all. Chavez Jr. wanted to show Sergio Martinez that when he won the title against Sebastian Spick, he did it fair and square. They put him up against an undefeated champion,
right,
and he took it from him. And after that, he's done whatever everyone has asked of him.
You're exactly right. And, you know, to his credit, he didn't have to take this fight. He is a solid, bona fide star. He's a ticket seller. He's an attraction in the sports that needs them. And I give him major credit and props for taking this fight.
And also, a lot of people knew going in that ability-wise, Martinez was superior.
Sure.
So this may not be a surprise to everyone. And also, if it ends like this, then you've got to hand it to Chavez Jr. as well.
I agree, because listen, he's taken some hard shots. He's been resilient in there. He's trying. There's no lack of effort. He's showing a lot of heart, and I think sometimes you can lose the fight but still win the event by showing courage and a lot of heart and valor.
And even if Chavez Jr. would lose this fight, and we're a long ways away from this ending. But even if he did, I think he still has a lot of upside, and he can still bang in there with the best at the middleweight division as he lands a big right hand. And I think Martinez felt that one.
Well, I'll tell you what, to your point, I mean, as far as quality of fighter, there's nowhere to go but down from here. This is as good as it gets. So you're exactly right, as if he's able to be in the mix with the other fighters.
And conversely for Martinez, Martinez needs to win this fight. He can't have the luxury of losing this fight by any means.
Right.
Because if that's the case, then people are going to say, well, you were exposed.
Exactly.
By someone who doesn't have as much ability as you, and then that could be it for Martinez. But so far, Martinez has shown us why he's considered one of the top 3 pound for pound right now.
Right, and definitely one of the most avoided fighters. And Martinez, I believe, has a little bit of a cut. Or might be seeing things.
No, I think he does, right over the left eye. He's pawing at it right now. We'll see in between rounds.
Maybe this inspires Chavez. Maybe this helps him get a second win. That's a very good point. And I'm sure it was a result of that sneaky right hand.
That right hand definitely did the damage. Let's see if Chavez Jr. can act and follow up on that.
4 rounds to go now. A lot of people thought Chavez Jr. wouldn't even make it this far.
I, for one, thought that it was going to go the distance. Both are extremely strong fighters. Martinez still looks fresh, I'm sorry.
Martinez definitely still looks fresh. And again, I think his intelligence in the ring is often underestimated because he really knows how to figure out a fighter. And if you could see, just for example, in this fight, after a few rounds, the adjustments he made, he's been able to respond beautifully. Chavez Jr. still showing a lot of heart, not taking steps backwards, still walking forward. The crowd getting a little restless. This style, just in and of itself, doesn't bode well for Chavez Jr. aesthetically. A guy with fast hands and fast feet. He thrives off a guy that obviously
someone who stays right in front of him. And you know what? In his last fight against Andy Lee boxed him for the first 2 to 3 rounds, but Chavez Jr. was able to walk him down with those hooks to the body.
Correct.
Slowed him down and made him a static fighter, made him stay in front of him, and that's how he was able to wear him down and finally end the fight by TKO in the 7th round. He hasn't been able to do that tonight against Sergio Martinez.
No, not against the fleet-footed Sergio Martinez, who, as you can see, just danced around like back and forth about 6 times from ring post to ring post right now.
And it's not like he's running.
No, no. No, there's no running going on. It's just part of his mastery. And the blood, you can see, still trickling off of Martinez. And at some point, Chavez Jr. may want to let those right hands go just a little more aggressively.
The output from Chavez Jr. has not been what his corner desires. No. I'm sure Freddie Roach is very frustrated right now with what he's seeing.
Sergio Martinez, he is keeping his hands down, both for 2 reasons. One, he's fast enough to get out of the way, but he's so confident right now in his speed factor that he has no faith that Chavez will be able to counter with a right hand. Chavez clearly hasn't been able to take advantage. And the mouth is starting to open a little bit. So you start wondering if conditioner coming. That's a nice left hook by Chavez. And they feel if they just go to Chavez's body a little bit more, he'll quit or they'll stop. 3 rounds to go, Jaime.
The championship rounds. And Junior better step it up. Otherwise, the title will change hands. And this is more or less where Martinez said that he was going to put the pedal to the metal and he was going to stop Chavez Jr.
Well,
that's what they want.
The corner wants that. Corner wants him to pick up the pace. Chavez Jr. obviously needs to pick up his pace. He wants any shot at stopping him tonight.
Oh, beautiful left hand by Martinez. And even though Chavez Jr. has been able to land a couple of good right hands and a couple of good left hooks to the body, there hasn't been one punch so far, Mario, that I think has really rattled Martinez and said, uh-oh, I gotta watch out.
No, you're right. There was a low blow right there by Martinez, but you're exactly right. He hasn't allowed him to set his feet and position himself to take a solid blow, constantly moving either with his feet or with his head.
And you know what? We have barely mentioned Tony Weeks' name, which means that's a good fight. And there's a clash of heads.
Unintentional, obviously, but a clash of heads nonetheless.
And it seems like they're both okay.
And you're right, that's a great point, Hatton. Tony Weeks' name, they haven't had to break up any clinches. This has been a really clean fight.
Martinez throwing a lot of lead lefts.
Chavez Jr. looks just anxious, and he's like positioned to pull the trigger with the big right hand, but does he have the energy? Does he have the power to do it? And he's eating big lefts right now, and he's gone in about 4 circles right now, not able to cut off the ring from Sergio Martinez. And that gets tiring in and of itself.
And there was a little short uppercut to the stomach.
Little dramatic play from Martinez. And could Martinez be tiring maybe a little bit?
Well, he has been the one putting out the most action.
It's been a relentless pace for Sergio Martinez.
And you heard Freddie Roach right before that replay telling Junior, Julio, you know we need a knockout.
And there's no disputing that, Jaime. 2 rounds to go. Junior needs to pull out every trick he can muster.
You know, people were skeptical of Sergio Martinez after the Darren Barker fight, after the Matthew Macklin fight, thinking that maybe he just wasn't the same. That age was catching up with him. You know, Macklin made him look bad for the first 6 rounds. Barker gave him a hard time as well. We've seen a rejuvenated Sergio Martinez tonight.
Well, you know he was highly motivated, and at the same time, those guys aren't bums he's fighting, too. And he really is a talented guy that's maybe really a junior middleweight, but when you give him time to train properly, gain the muscle that he needs to compete at middleweight, it hasn't slowed down his speed. He's still got the pop to hurt you.
Let me ask you a question. From what we've seen tonight, and from what we've seen from Manny Pacquiao in the last couple of fights, could Sergio Martinez catapult over Manny Pacquiao to the #2 spot, pound for pound?
A case could be made. A case could definitely be made. And if he happens to close out this fight in spectacular fashion, then I think there's no doubt about it.
Chavez Jr.
And another big right hand. And there's blood on the head of Martinez. I think that's a result from the headbutt, though. And still life from Chavez Jr.
He definitely is not quitting. Chavez Jr. going forward. He knows he needs a knockout. It's time to press on. It's now or never.
And one thing I'm so proud and impressed by with Chavez Jr. is the Brazilian tonight. He might be outmanned, he may be outclassed, but he's shown he's got a lot of heart and a lot of guile.
Oh, big uppercut by Martinez. Chavez
Jr. mocking him. Probably not the wisest idea with a dangerous fighter like Martinez.
Chavez's face is all puffed up.
And it's rare when you see Martinez's face look the way it is.
They both said it was going to be a war. It's been a little bit one-sided, but a war nonetheless.
And you feel like it's still, even though it's one-sided, still Chavez Jr. has a puncher's chance. He's not completely out of it. That there's a puncher's chance there that you never know.
And that's what makes him so dangerous, as Chavez also lands a big left hook.
And he throws another big one that barely misses. Here we are, Jaime. 12th and final round.
Last 3 minutes. Martinez thinks he's got this in the bank. He better not be overconfident, because one punch can change everything.
A lot of people didn't think we'd be at this point. And I think regardless that Chavez Jr. gained a lot of fans tonight too by showing grit and determination and hanging in there.
But yes, he has been overmatched.
Yes.
And now Chavez Jr.'s left eye is practically shut. Very quick jab. Martinez said he wanted to teach Junior a lesson.
Well, at the least, Martinez, I think, appreciates and respects the effort and guile of Junior.
I'm certain that Martinez respects Chavez Jr. right now. He may not have going into this fight, but after taking all those punches,
and he landed a couple of them.
Big right hand by Chavez Jr.
Chavez Jr. still showing light, and the blood trickling from Martinez's face.
Another big right hand by Junior.
Oh, the left hand, and he's hurt, and he's hurt, and he's down on the ground. He's down on the ground.
Oh my God! Could he have done it? Here we go.
Can Martinez finish this fight? Can Chavez Jr. knock him out like his father did? But with Chavez Taylor.
Oh my God! We are seeing history, ladies and gentlemen.
Less than a minute to go.
Martinez is hurt.
Can Chavez Jr. finish strong?
He may have started his victory dance too soon.
Can Chavez Jr. repeat history like his father?
Oh, big left hand by Junior. Martinez still standing. Just like we said that he had earned his respect. Now he earned more than that.
It went through the roof now. It went through, barely missing with a right hand, Jaime.
Last 20 seconds. Oh, big right hand by Junior. Big left hand. Martinez still standing.
Can Chavez Jr. finish this fight? Can he close out strong? I'll tell you what, he gave a lot of fans tonight.
We have seen one of the greatest final rounds in the history of boxing.
And did time just run out on Chavez Jr.?
It may have just run out. Wow.
Following one of the greatest final rounds in boxing history, we go to the scorecards. Stanley Cristodulo, 117-110. Adelaide Bird, 118-109. Same score from Dave Moretti, 118-109. All to the winner by unanimous decision from Argentina, the unified middleweight champion of the world, Sergio Maravilla Martinez.
Okay, trunks are a little high here. Punches that land in this area will be considered a clean punch. Now, gentlemen, we went over the rules in the dressing room. I want to caution you to keep the fight clean, protect yourself at all times, and what I say you must obey. Good luck, touch up.
If Ricky Hatton boxes as well as brawls, does that mean there are two Ricky Hattons? And can Paulie Malignaggi deal with both of them?
Tell you what, Malignaggi looks in good shape right now.
They appeared together before 55,000 in Manchester, England on May 24 this year. Hatton beating Juan Lascano over the distance, getting rocked a couple of times and admitting afterward, that wasn't my best. Malignaggi getting the second win of his career over Lovemore and Dew, but as Larry pointed out, producing the dreadful faux pas of the hair extensions, getting his hair cut in the ring, and also getting trimmed several rounds by Ndu. And afterward he said, that wasn't me at my best. Both are hoping to elevate their games significantly tonight, 6 months later.
What Hatton is trying to do is box his way inside instead of just lunging inside as he has often done.
And what he's doing, obviously he's been working on the jab, but he feels that he needs to get a lot closer before he throws his jab, and not necessarily the case in all cases. You can actually start your jab from way out, and as you get closer, be more accurate with it.
And already you can see the dynamic. Hatton is going to come in. Malignaggi wants to catch him on the way in. The question is, what does he catch him with? Malignaggi has no power, as is evidenced by his record with only 5 knockouts among his 25 wins. And a lot of that is because of his often damaged right hand.
And 3 of those 5 knockouts, Jim, were in his first 3 fights.
Exactly. His right hand has been operated 4 separate times in his career, and including immediately after the Lovemore and Dew fight in May. He says he knows it's fine. But if he breaks his right hand in the fight, that is to be expected, and it's something he has fought with several times before. But there's the jab, which is his primary weapon, and if he can get it going and land the right hand behind it, he is regarded as an extremely live underdog against Ricky Hatton. Already you can see why.
2-1 underdog.
Malignaggi throws a terrific left jab. I love the way it comes out. Nice and sharp, nice and crisp, very accurate. Throws it very well. You know, that and his right hand in combination are a thing of beauty.
Watch your heads, fellas. Watch the heads.
Hatton simply can't afford to allow Malignaggi to develop a rhythm with his jab in his right hand. And in the latter part of the first round, Paulie is getting it.
A good round for Malignaggi.
CompuBox numbers in round 1. Malignaggi 11 out of 43, Hatton 7 out of 43. Not much to choose between the two of them. Down the stretch of the round, it appeared to be Malignaggi who was the more comfortable fighter with the way things were going in the ring.
You see, Ricky, I hope, doesn't fall into the same track as what he usually falls into, and that's coming in straight on where your opponent knows where you're going to be and leaving yourself wide open. So he needs to come in with his hands up, looking to pick that jab and not get hit.
Diving in behind the right hand there.
Which is a big mistake. You know, you definitely have to go in behind the jab, never diving in, because what you do, you're helping the guys help you knock yourself out, because you're moving in under his power.
American fans, sensing the possibility of an upset already, have started to chant USA, USA in response to the Brits.
Well, they'll never make as much noise as Hatton's British fans, who have had years to practice their routines. And there's a big left by Ricky Hatton.
Hatton said that he thought that he could extend his career by modifying his style the way Arturo Gatti and Marco Antonio Barrera did at roughly this stage in their careers. But I don't think that he's going to be able to make that change where he could just box against the boxer.
Well, I wouldn't say he can change his style completely, but he can improve on his style. Certain things. Oh, good right hand.
Good right hand.
And that hurt him too.
There's a bloody nose
Malignaggi's holding
under the
on.
left eye of Malignaggi, and Malignaggi was badly hurt by the Hatton right hand.
And he had a hold.
And he catches Hatton with an uppercut coming in. But suddenly they're brawling, and that's Ricky Hatton's fight.
With 20 seconds left in the round.
Blood under the left eye of Paulie Malignaggi.
We got
Malignaggi had his legs back by the end of the round. CompuBox numbers in round 2. Hatton 9 out of 51. Malignaggi 8 out of 41. But you saw the big right hand by Hatton, which surely was enough to at least win him the round. You heard Buddy McGirt asking Paulie Malignaggi for the double jab. You'd have to take a risk to throw the jab twice against a jump-in right-hand puncher like Hatton.
It seems that Hatton now has sensed that he has to try to overpower the boxer.
Work out.
Good left inside by Malignaggi. Hatton's dynamism is beginning to show up. He was way more sluggish in round 1 than is now the case. You see the verve and the vibrancy which has always marked the way he fought Lennox. Nobody fights 3 minutes of every round more consistently than Ricky Hatton.
There's a cut along the nose of Malignaggi. Does not look dangerous.
Work out. Watch your heads.
Well, you can tell that Ricky Hatton loves to mix it up. He loves to box.
Work out.
Now, really, Ricky just wants to get some room, some punching room, so he can land some good punches in there.
I don't get the sense that Kenny Bayless is breaking them up as frequently or as immediately as Joe Cortez did in the fight between Hatton and Floyd Mayweather. Hatton is getting a little more chance here, it seems to me, to wrestle with Malignaggi and set up shots inside, which is what he says he wanted to do and didn't get a chance to do against Pretty Boy Floyd.
And the funny thing is, they said that Ricky Hatton is going to hold a lot in this fight, but I don't see him holding. I see it actually the other way around right now.
You saw Malignaggi reach out and grab him with the left there.
Some good body work by Hatton, which could pay off later in the fight.
See, that's the problem. If you try to hold him, he gets underneath and works, and then chops over the top with the right, as he did there.
Malignaggi needs to keep this fight at distance. He needs to work that jab and work that combination punching and keep Ricky Hatton at bay.
Hatton catches Malignaggi with a left hook. Brings the British fans up and out of their seats. Straight right hand. Again brings the British fans up and out of their seats. And you can see Hatton saying to Kenny Bayless, he's holding me. CompuBox numbers through round 3. Hatton landing slightly more. 31 out of 146 to 28 out of 122. Maybe more tellingly, 27 of Hatton's 31 connects are power shots, and a couple of them have been eye-catching, head-popping power shots.
Time in.
Harold Letterman, how do you have it through 3?
Look at Jim, 2 rounds to 1, 29-28, Ricky Hatton. Jim, I'll tell you something. Paulie Malignaggi is standing right in front of Ricky Hatton. He's trying to catch him on the way in with double jabs. But Ricky Hatton's getting inside, scoring the better shots because he's stronger. The only way that Malignaggi can win this fight is to start to circle and box. He's got to move. If he stands straight in front of Hatton, like he's doing now, Ricky's going to murder him on the inside. 2-1, Hatton.
Circle and box is what Malignaggi did down the stretch of round 1. when he won it. And he has come out trying to circle and box in round 4.
And I agree with Harold. You know, he definitely has to circle and box. But what he's doing, he's putting his head down. He needs to keep his head up and stay tall in this and use his reach as an advantage and not bringing himself down to Ricky Hatton's level.
He's really not that kind of a boxer, Lennox. He's a boxer, but he wants to stand in front of his guy and beat him to the punch.
As often as not, in the last 2 rounds, Hatton has been beating Malignaggi to the punch. That's what's going to make the difference over the long haul if it keeps up.
Well, as the fight goes on and the fighters learn about each other, Hatton is learning that he can't be hurt by Malignaggi. Why not take chances?
This was Malignaggi's problem against Miguel Cotto. An inability to hurt the stronger Puerto Rican fighter.
Work out of it.
Malignaggi was able to win some rounds against Cotto, but ultimately was ground down by the physical strength disparity and the punching power difference. That's what his fans have to fear here.
Look out, Paulie.
Good uppercut by Malignaggi as he got out of the clinch with Hatton.
See what happens with some guys that keep their left hand down. They keep it down so long until the guy comes in and then they just grab with it. What he needs to do is keep it down until he gets close to him and raise it up to his head to protect him, and then when he gets close, push him off or either punch him with a jab.
It's really fascinating that after all of the talk Malignaggi's people put up about wanting to get the right referee and avoid Hatton's holding, it is Malignaggi who is holding Hatton over and over and over in the early rounds.
Not only that, but Malignaggi said that he thought that in America, because of his holding, that Hatton would just be a club fighter.
Well, what does that make Paulie?
Malignaggi has had 4 operations on his right hand, including after his last fight. Nothing with his left. His right is as brittle as uncooked spaghetti, but his left seems to work fine.
And a part of the result of it is that sometimes when he throws his right hand, he does not remember to punch it. As Lennox will tell you, you throw a right hand or you throw any punch without punching it, you're not going to make any dent.
No, I mean, a boxer like Ricky Hatton, you gotta throw both punches, both hands, to keep him off of you, because he's just like a train wreck coming at you. And if you don't have anything to stop him, he'll keep on coming.
Well, this was regarded as the big problem if Malignaggi broke his right hand. But it turns out perhaps to be a problem, breakage or no breakage. Now Malignaggi catches Hatton coming in and pops him with a left jab.
See, it looks like to me that, you know, this is a one-handed fight for Malignaggi, and he does that quite well. He's done that quite well in his past fights, but there's, you know, some guys you really need to tag on the chin and really make them respect your power.
Malignaggi may have managed to surprise Ngoju and to some degree Ndu with his strength in clinches and his ability to move the opponent around the ring. But when he clinches with Ricky Hatton, it just doesn't look like his style, and it doesn't look good for him.
It doesn't, because, you know, we're expecting Malignaggi to be moving around, showing his boxing ability, and it's difficult if you don't have power. You know, because the guy's gonna come, has nothing to be fearful of, and keep coming and putting pressure on you. See, in a situation right there, Malignaggi should be first, but Ricky Hatton's first. Boxers always have to be first, especially if you have a good jab. You got to get that jab working.
Well, Paulie Malignaggi had a good first round, but increasingly it becomes clear if he's going to win rounds, he'll have to do so with his feet. And all too often, he's finding himself locked up inside with Ricky Hatton in a no-win battle.
Well, they're two crowd-pleasing personalities, but their styles are not exactly crowd-pleasing.
Just to underline what Larry Merchant said about the styles not exactly conspiring to please fans. Average punches through the 5th round. Hatton 9 out of 50, Malignaggi 8 out of 36. In other words, neither guy has been able to average double figures in landed punches through the fight. That is scratch and sniff all the way. And you heard Buddy McGirt begging Malignaggi, stay outside. Don't get into clinches with Ricky Hatton. Is this better for Malignaggi, Lennox?
Well, it's a lot better for Malignaggi because he's not getting hit and he's using his boxing ability. This is what we expect from him. And, you know, as far as his jab is concerned, he needs to throw it overtime, even double jabs. Right now, he's content to throw one jab at a time. A guy like Ricky Hatton, Malignaggi should be throwing triple jabs. Jab, 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 left hook. Because if he's a left-handed puncher, he's supposed to work double the time, triple the time with that left hand. There he goes. He's waiting for Ricky Hatton to come in when he should really start it. He should be first.
Like that. That's the way for Malignaggi to actually win rounds. Keep Hatton off of him with the jab and step away.
He should be first throwing the punches and last throwing the punches.
This round has gone better for Paulie. There haven't been nearly as many clinches in the round. Not as many situations where he's reached out and grabbed Hatton and pulled him to him. He gets hit with a left hand there.
And Hatton is showing a little bit here of slip. He's not lunging in. He's a little bit under control when he comes forward, moving his head as you just saw there, doing better.
Yeah, I mean, what he's doing is he's allowing Paulie to miss, and he slips to one side and comes back whether with a right hand or a left hook. Also, what he's doing is waiting for Paulie to throw that jab so he can block it and come back with his own jab.
And he's controlling the territory. This isn't a territorial game like football, but you get a sense that he's controlling what part of this ring they're in.
Yeah,
and he's in charge.
And he's comfortable. He looks comfortable, and he seems like he feels good about the situation in the ring.
But in terms of landed punches, Malignaggi has his best round of the fight. And the color of the fight changes slightly in the 6th. Paulie Malignaggi given credit by CompuBox for landing 15 punches in the 6th round. Every single one of them was a jab. Harold, how do you have it through 6?
Okay, Jim. 5 rounds to 1, 59, 55, Ricky Hatton. Jim, Ricky Hatton couldn't ask for more than a guy who can't punch and is going to stand right in front of him and wrestle with him and let Hatton score the hard shots inside. And that's what we got here. Paulie can only fight if he moves, if he throws the 7, 8 punch combinations that made him what he is. You know, Paulie was always a guy who threw a lot of shots. When he gets inside now, all he's doing is one jab, one jab, one jab. Where are the 6 punch combinations? 5 to 1, Hatton.
Is he missing the 6 punch combinations because he's reticent to release his hands that way, Lennox?
Well, you know, he's going up against a guy that's giving him a lot of pressure. And what he needs to do is, like Harold says, throw those combinations. And like I say, you know, as far as throwing his jab, he needs to throw triple, double jabs, double hooks, everything with his left hand, but they have to be double and triple.
Well, we're seeing 4 and 5 punch combinations, but they're coming from Ricky Hatton. And Hatton has has rocked Malignaggi with a couple of big lefts in this round, and there's another one.
See, Malignaggi, when he gets hit, he's looking to put his head down. He should be looking to keep his head up and score back.
Frankly, Malignaggi is fighting so defensively at times, it looks as though he's given up on winning the fight and is simply trying to get through it. He doesn't have the kind of body language that suggests that he really knows what he needs to do to win the fight.
Well, you know, he knows that Ricky Hatton is always coming, so he's trying to set him up and making him walk onto a left hand. Whether he can make him walk onto a left right or have the power to make him walk onto a left right is a question. But Malignaggi hasn't thrown that right hand a lot or overthrown it today like he's supposed to be.
Malignaggi landed a couple of good counter left-hand shots. There's another one, as suddenly he is timing Hatton's assaults and getting off first.
Hatton looks very eager to fight. Walked into a couple of punches and landed a couple there. And given what he goes through with weight, it's rather impressive that he's fighting 3 minutes of every round after having to take off 40 to 45 pounds between fights.
Right, he doesn't look under-conditioned in this fight.
You know, eventually that's going to catch up with you. Age catches up to you, and it's, you know, when you put on, when the age catches up to you, it's harder to take off that weight.
No. Let him up.
Big left by Hatton walking in. Just busted Malignaggi right across the chops. And that punctuates a round in which Ricky Hatton landed several solid shots. Very active round, round 7 for Ricky Hatton. 18 out of 45 landed according to CompuBox. That's the high number of connected punches in the fight for Hatton. 12 of the 18 were power shots. Malignaggi landing 12 out of 37. A couple of counter right hands, mostly left jabs. You heard Buddy McGirt asking Paulie Malignaggi to throw more rights. Floyd Mayweather in Hatton's corner said, your jab works when you use it more.
Good punch.
There's a right hand by Malignaggi. And that's exactly why McGirt was asking for it. Because at this point, Hatton doesn't expect Malignaggi to throw right hands.
No, and you know, these are the type of punches he needs to throw to keep Hatton off. You know, whether his hands can withstand him throwing more of those, but this is what he needs to do.
And he's only going to keep Hatton off momentarily because Ricky's made clear that he doesn't think Paulie can hurt him and is willing to simply walk through his stuff.
Well, what he's walking through is jabs, and most boxers, if you give them the choice between walking through a jab and a right hand, they'll rather walk through a jab. And Ricky knows that there's no right hand coming after that jab, so it makes his job a lot easier.
Another big left hand by Hatton. Moves Malignaggi 3 feet back. There's the right hand landing again for Paulie Malignaggi as he pops Hatton while moving away. Again, Malignaggi reaches out to grab Hatton. Kenny Bayless warns Malignaggi.
Watch the elbow. Work out, work out. Stop. Work out.
You know, Malignaggi, you know, although he gets in there, he doesn't do any inside fighting.
That's the point.
And
once they're in a clinch, he doesn't try to throw punches.
No, I mean, that left hand, that he needs to be working overtime. He needs to be either working the right hand inside or something, but he's looking to reach out and hold.
A left and an uppercut from Hatton shook Malignaggi momentarily.
Again.
And as you suggested earlier, Jim, Malignaggi's body language is not that of a winner.
Nope.
This is where I would be telling Ricky Hatton to, you know, after he throws that jab, throw uppercut, because Malignaggi will duck, and that's where he's going. He's looking to hold and grab.
stop. No. No wrestling. There we go.
There's that uppercut. Down his head after he throws his punches.
Malignaggi's face is marked. And there's room there for Hatton to maybe create some bleeding if he can get to some of those marks.
Stop. Work out of this,
Hatton's
fellas.
left eye has been swelling since early in the fight. And he rips Malignaggi with a left hook, and Malignaggi sticks out his tongue and clowns for him a little bit, but everyone could see the impact of the punch.
There we go.
I don't think that was a tongue lashing for Hatton.
Time. Lucha.
Don't know what's going on with these gloves.
Taped gloves.
And they're taped it a couple times in the corner. They need to get better tape than that. That is the wrong tape to be using.
He got a chance to tie his shoes after being wobbled by a big Juan Lascano combination in the 10th round in Manchester back in May. That was an eye-opener for some observers at a moment when Hatton seemed to need at least kind consideration, and got it.
All right, that's good. All right.
After that fight, Hatton fired trainer Billy Graham, who had been with him since boyhood, and hired Floyd Mayweather Sr., in effect preventing Mayweather from being able to work with Oscar De La Hoya for De La Hoya's upcoming fight with Manny Pacquiao. Hatton seems to feel as though he can do business in this round.
Well, they've had a long enough rest. And I'm sure Hatton feels that
Come on, work out of there.
There are
that he's winning this fight.
bruises under both of the eyes of Malignaggi.
Work out, fellas. Come on, here we go.
And it looks as though his spirit has been bruised as well.
Oh, no. Work out. Stop. Watch your head. All that.
See, you know, in a fight like this where you see Malignaggi has such great boxing ability and he's just relying on his jab, it makes me feel that something's wrong with his right hand. He's not throwing as much as he should be, really dependent on his left hand. And, you know, I just feel that he's just one-handed in there, and he's at a disadvantage.
I have a wild hunch it doesn't matter. I mean, even if his right hand were absolutely perfect, he's never had power in it anyway. And it seems to me as though if he's reluctant to throw his right hand, it's partially because of Ricky Hatton's counter left hooks and the accuracy and the quickness with which Hatton has been ripping him. Looking at Malignaggi in this fight, I think you have to credit his managers and his promoters with a good job getting him to the top rung of the 140-pound weight class. For a guy with no power whatsoever to have gotten into this fight against Ricky Hatton, that's pretty good business work.
I agree. Very good management. He's a good little fighter, but when you get to the top of the list, you're going to fight somebody who's stronger than him.
Paulie Malignaggi landed 1 out of 7 attempted power punches in the 9th round. Again, in CompuBox counting, a power punch is anything other than a jab. Malignaggi has landed an average of fewer than 3 power punches per round in the fight. Harold, how do you have it through 9?
Okay, Jim, 89, 82, 8 rounds to 1, Ricky Hatton. Jim, I got to tell you something. This is not the Paulie Malignaggi I know. And I've seen most of his fights because I'm a New Yorker. Jim, he's not moving. The 5-6 punch combinations ain't there. He's standing right in front of this guy, letting him get inside, and Ricky Hatton is much stronger, landing the stronger, cleaner shots and winning the fight on clean, effective punching. It's not Malignaggi. It's a different guy altogether.
No, it is not.
Should be boxing.
It is Malignaggi, Harold. It's cause and effect. Hatton isn't let him being the Malignaggi that you saw against lesser fighters. He's jumping across the ring. He's very quick getting into Malignaggi, who can't escape him. except by getting on a bicycle, and that's not his style.
Hold it, let him up.
As Hatton said coming into the fight, I respect Malignaggi, but his big wins are over Lovemore and Doe and Herman Ngoja. I have fought better opposition than that. I think at the end of the day, you have to credit Hatton with being correct on that score. But his wins over Luis Collazo and Jose Luis Castillo and Juan Arango and other fighters like that add up to more.
Castazu, who's
yeah,
maybe the best 140-pounder we've seen.
Watch the glove. Stop.
Hatton beat Tszyu at the end of his career before a huge and tumultuous crowd in Manchester. That's really the fight that made him an international star.
Made him quit.
Yeah, I mean, you know, there you have it again. Malignaggi electing to hold and not really box inside. This is part of the fight. It's a,
Hold. Watch your heads. Watch. Okay, here we go. Watch your heads.
you know, Ricky's sensing this fight's going 100% his way. He has to be careful. I don't think he has to be careful of any power shots by Malignaggi, but, you know, he wants to end this fight with 2 good rounds and a good performance.
Well, Hatton's a competitor. He'd love to walk away with a knockout. It's not going to be that easy, given that Malignaggi appears to be more interested in finishing the rounds, holding when necessary. Sounds to me as though Buddy McGirt is telling Paulie Malignaggi that he might stop the fight unless Malignaggi can do better in these last couple of rounds. Now that has to be an ego deflator for Malignaggi. Maybe Buddy is simply trying to wake the fighter up and say, you're in a desperate situation. I'm going to threaten your ego by telling you that I might stop this fight. You had better throw some punches.
What could be more desperate than a fighter who appears to be way behind and he can't knock his opponent out? It's like being out in the middle of the ocean with nothing in sight but water.
And having been hammered by 2 left hands inside, he grabbed Hatton's leg before Bayless pulled him apart.
You know, I think his trainer's thinking about throwing in the towel right now.
They're going to throw it in right now. You are exactly right. Absolutely right, Lennox Lewis. Buddy McGirt came up the steps, and he pushes Malignaggi away as Malignaggi complains to him.
Ladies and gentlemen, here at the MGM Grand, referee Kenny Bayless calls a halt to the contest. The official time, 28 seconds, round number 11. The winner by TKO victory, still the IBO Ring Magazine Light Welterweight Champion of the World, the Fighting Pride of Manchester, England, Ricky Hitman Hatton.
Let's go. Here we go. Come on. Okay, you already received your instructions. I'll receive your instrucciones. Be careful with your head. Cuidado con sus cabezas. Right here is good. Anything below that is going to be low. Aquí está bien, aquí no. Right here is good. Anything below that is going to be low. Aquí está bien, aquí no. Keep everything above the waist. De la cintura para arriba. I want a good, clean fight. Yo quiero uno play limpia. Obey my commands at all times. Above all, protect yourselves at all times. Escúchame, cuídate. Ready? Listo? Ready? Let's go. Vámonos.
The stakes are high for these fighters. The winner will be declared a mandatory challenger for bantamweight champion Tim Austin, supposedly to meet later this year. Just a minor correction, Emmanuel. Now I hear he said that Johnson claims to have beaten Tim Austin 2 times in their 2 fights as amateurs.
Well, he's never lost to him, that's for sure, than what he's saying.
We'll get Austin's side of the story some other time.
Yeah, amateur boxing and professional boxing is different.
Mark Too Sharp Johnson looking to see if his skills are too sharp. This is the 4th bout of his comeback. He had a 19-month layoff. He spent the better part of the year 2000 in jail for violating parole.
Well, I can see right away that he's intending to try to go for a decision this time. He's intending to try to outbox Marquez instead of going for the knockout as he did in the last fight. Yes. You notice he's maintaining the distance this time, whereas the first time he was getting very close, which was playing into Marquez's game, but he's keeping his distance this time.
Well, Johnson talked to us yesterday about the fact that he did not know that Marquez was so physically strong until he got him inside the ring.
Marquez is also very difficult to hit clean, and he has a good jab of his own, which is unusual. I think his hand speed is surprising, at least to me. When he fought the first fight, I was very surprised.
Johnson, of course, the southpaw. Marquez fights out of the conventional stance.
And I can see that Marquez has been training very well in preparing to fight a southpaw. He's doing everything properly. He's parrying Johnson's jab with his left hand and still in a position where he can counter with that same left hand. It's just what he did just there.
Both fighters feeling their way here in the first round.
I can tell that Johnson came in intending to box and handle him at a distance, but he's probably becoming aware of the fact that that's not working. Marquez is showing surprisingly good boxing skills in this fight and may have the edge in the boxing right now.
When we head into the corner of Rafael Marquez, Ray Torres will do the interpreting for us this evening. Nana, you talked about the distance between both fighters in the early going. Johnson told us yesterday in the first fight that initially he didn't respect Marquez's punching power ability, so he went in close in the first fight and possibly tired himself out in the later rounds, and he also got caught in the later rounds with a lot of shots.
Yeah, he tried to go for the knockout because he was hitting him fairly easy, and he thought that he would have knocked him out since he hadn't heard anything about him. But this particular fight, it's interesting. There's more boxing, but Marquez is holding his own in the boxing department. And I know later on the fight's going to get pretty hectic when both guys realize that they have not established a confident lead. In addition to the booing from the crowd.
The crowd getting antsy early on here at Mandalay Bay.
Too Sharp fought the first fight like a hammer, and he's trying to fight this one like a knife. It isn't working.
Quick counter by Marquez.
Yeah, Marquez is sitting, waiting for him to come in and let him take that little slight step back and shoot the right-hand counter, much like Antonio Barrera does a lot when he fights southpaws.
Marquez opens up, blows to the body.
Marquez is very sharp, and he's landing a lot of punches. That was that counter jab again. He's landing uppercuts a lot, too. A little short punches from underneath, which is interesting. I never saw him do that before.
The other thing that was impressive about Marquez's counter jab came over the top.
Yes, he's working perfectly. He's using his left hand to counter, to pick his punches off and to counter at the same time. He's actually fighting more of a counter-punching fight and being effective at it at this stage.
Mark Too Sharp Johnson showing Rafael Marquez quite a bit of respect.
Out. Oh, hey, oh, don't do that. Okay, listen to my thing. Okay, a little bit. Okay.
Johnson said that this fight would tell him whether he's a young 30 or an old 30. He is not proving that he's a young 30 yet.
You know, and it's interesting. Marquez is doing something similar to Antonio Barrera, but he's improved a lot more going into this fight as compared to the last fight. And more in the boxing area, not so much in slugging. He's working very effective with his left jab, in addition to having a little right uppercut that he's shooting in.
CompuBox punched at numbers through 2 rounds. Johnson threw 95 punches, but he only landed on 15 for a connection percentage of 16. Marquez, 21 of 63 for 33%, 16%. Not going to get it done.
No.
So far, this has been a good reason not to have a rematch.
A lot of respect for each other. I'm just hoping that the fight is close as it is, even though maybe a little slight edge may be to Marquez, but sometimes Johnson gets caught up in the heat of the battle and gets emotionally and commits fouls, and I think that possibly could be a factor, much as it was in the last fight, which cost him his decision.
The first fight certainly heated up at about rounds 4, 5, and 6. So we'll see if the second fight takes the same pattern.
But even at this stage, Johnson was throwing a lot of punches because he was so confident the last fight that he never had the respect that he's showing today.
Yeah, but what happened then, of course, was he was a very tired horse coming down the stretch.
That's correct.
So maybe he is trying to pace himself here, but he might pace himself out of the fight.
He's pacing himself, but taking the risk of possibly getting the hand on points. It's okay when you're pacing yourself and you know you're comfortably with it, so you're saving it. But at this stage here, he has not been able to establish any clear dominance.
Looping right hand from Rafael Marquez.
Marquez has shown a lot of different things in this fight. He showed a very good sharp left jab over the shoulder, much like he just landed there. He's shown a right uppercut. Now he's added a looping right hand over top. He's doing a variety of things.
Marquez getting busier here. And Johnson fires back with a counter right hand to the head.
That right hand shook Marquez. Best punch of the fight. But then we'll see how sharp Too Sharp can be.
How tough it can be, head sharp.
All right, let's bring in Harold Letterman to see how he has the fight scored through 3.
Okay, Fred, not much of an action fight. 29-28, 2 rounds to 1. Mark Too Sharp Johnson. I thought he won the first round, very, very close round using the right jab. Round 3, I gave him mostly on the basis of that tremendous right hook. Then he landed late. The second round, I thought Marquez outpunched him. But you know, Fran, the key to this fight, as I see it so far, is Mark Johnson circles. And he circles to the left. He's trying to square up in front of Marquez. And I tell you, it's the wrong way. He's actually moving into the right hand to Rafael Marquez, and Marquez is going to nail him with it. Watch.
I have it 2 rounds to 1 in favor of Marquez.
Which means we have a good fight.
No, I don't mean it means we have a close fight. There is a difference.
It's going to get warmed up, believe me. I can see it happening. The difference is sometimes you watch Marquez, looks like he's hurt because he's a little bit clumsy on his feet at times and gets his legs crossed, whereas Johnson seems to maintain much better balance.
Hard shots to the body by Rafael Marquez. This is his first rematch of his career. He talked to us yesterday about knowing he's not as fast as Johnson, so he said he really worked on his hand speed in camp. Can you improve your hand speed that much, Emmanuel?
I think you can, particularly if you have good sparring partners that are fast. It's the best theory it is having someone. Jimmy Ellis used to be Muhammad Ali's best sparring partner when Ali was in his prime, mainly because of speed. In fact, when Ali couldn't fight, Jimmy Ellis, his sparring partner, went on to win the heavyweight championship of the world.
Johnson now coming through with the right uppercut, firing off left hooks. Action starting to pick up here in the fourth. Johnson was off balance there.
And Johnson is starting to get busier now. I think he's realizing that he hasn't established the kind of lead that he wanted to feel comfortable about, so he's becoming much busier now.
Rafael Marquez planting both feet, standing right in there in the middle as the two trade big shots here to end the fourth round.
This is the beginning of what's going to be happening later on.
CompuBox numbers a little bit closer here in the fourth round. Johnson 14 of 52 for 27%. Marquez 17 of 46, 37%.
Both fighters are going to be busier now because they're trying to make sure that they get a lead, because I think both guys are concerned. And Johnson is looking seemingly to try to land that straight left right through the center. And Marquez is going to have to pick up the pace a little bit more himself.
Johnson lunges in with the right hook to the body. The difference, Mark Johnson says, between the first fight and this fight, he said physically he was prepared for the first fight, but mentally he was not. He was in the midst of going through a divorce. He says this time around he is focused both physically and mentally. Also coming off the first loss in over 11 years in his career. That could have a mental effect as well.
Time.
Tony Weeks warning Rafael Marquez, keep the shots up.
Take your time, man. 5. Okay, Johnson, I don't want you to retaliate, all right? Okay. Stay right here.
You may have heard
the
referee Tony Weeks say to Johnson, I don't want to see you retaliate.
Ready? Okay, let's go. Time in. Let's go.
Let's see if he retaliates.
Clean fight.
I'd like to see somebody retaliate for something.
Johnson gets caught by a right hand from Marquez. Big right uppercut by Too Sharp Johnson.
Marquez is starting to find his target with that straight short right hand through the center.
Johnson looking for spots to get inside. Marquez not backing away. Fight's picking up.
Let him go.
Johnson owns 2 hair salons and a barbershop. So far, this fight is like watching hair grow.
Marquez's corner would like to see more action, more punches thrown. Although Marquez did pretty good in the power punch department that last round, 15
That's
20.
That's the counter right hand.
Big counter right hand to the head of Johnson.
Both fighters started boxing at an early age. I think Marquez started when he was 6 years old. His father was a former flyweight champion in Mexico. And I've been knowing Mark all of his life. His whole family's been into boxing, his father and mother. In fact, ever since he was 2 years old, I've known him. So he's been boxing all of his life.
Marquez working on his counter material. Catches Johnson coming in with a left hand.
Stop. Let him go. Come on, good for Liga.
Fight's close, Manny. What would you like to see Johnson do to become more active?
I think he's going to have to be busier than that because he's sitting and for the most part his timing is just a hair off. It's not that far off, but it's just enough where Marquez is starting to penetrate him, particularly with those straight punches.
Marquez busting through the defense right there.
I would like to see Mark start moving on his feet more, boxing with angles. He's boxing, but he's not really using his feet, so to say. So it's just in front of the guy fighting. And if the fight continues as the pattern is set falling into, it's going to favor Marquez going down the stretch.
Hardest shots of the fight thrown here in the 6th round.
And they're very short, sharp punches, too. I'd like to see Mark box more using his feet. You need to change around and give him more angles.
This is the first round of the fight where either fighter has been dominant. That fighter has been Marquez. Ham Johnson, father and trainer of Too Sharp Johnson, telling him not to get brave.
Let's bring in Harold Letterman to see how he has the fight scored through 6.
Okay, Fred. 58-56, 4 rounds to 2. Mark Too Sharp Johnson. Fred, I got to tell you, it's like the first fight. Mark Johnson gets so fast. Marquez did very, very little in the early rounds of the first fight. Same thing here. And in round 6, all of a sudden, he starts, he picks up the pace, and he mugged him. And I got to tell you, it looks like he's taking control of this fight. So 4-2. 58-56 Johnson, but the momentum is all with Marquez.
I have the fight even.
Rafael Marquez, the brother of the more popular, more well-known Juan Manuel Marquez, comes in at 26-3, 24 wins by knockout, all 3 of his losses coming by knockout as well. Show you how tough this kid is in his pro debut. He took on Victor Rabanales. Rabanales, a former bantamweight champ. Rabanales was fighting his 56th fight.
Stop.
I don't know if that was brave or dumb management.
It was a sink.
He probably didn't have a choice.
That was sinker. That's a sink or swim school of boxing.
Let's see what you got off the bat.
Marquez trying to size up Johnson. Loves to punch down, loves to come over the top.
Stop. Here we go.
That straight right hand, and it floors Mark Two-Shot Johnson. The first time in his career he's been knocked down.
8. Come to me.
He's hurt.
Come to me. You all right? Come to me. You okay?
He's doing something good by moving around, trying to get his legs back out again, get the circulation.
Round's almost over.
His experience and his southpaw movement back and forth at different angles is what got him through that.
Johnson survives.
Mark Johnson has had a terrific career, mostly in the small world of boxing, not too well known outside of boxing. And he's on the verge, perhaps, of seeing that career end. He himself said if he loses this fight, there's no money out there for him to make, and he would seriously consider retirement.
He spent a great time, a bit of a time in the interview yesterday, speaking of possible retirement, which was, to me, unusual.
Yeah, there's an old saying, when you talk about retirement, you're retired.
Yes, it's on your mind.
Johnson told us, big paydays aren't worth it if I can't count the money.
Marquez is doing so many different things in this fight compared to the first. He's jabbing, he's actually counter-punching, he's shooting right uppercuts, but seemingly his head punches that little straight, sharp right hand through the center.
You know, for Marquez, that first fight was a kind of breakthrough fight. He had always considered himself inferior to his brother, lesser known than his brother. He was a top featherweight prospect, and now at one of the higher ranking featherweights. And that was a breakthrough, and he thinks now that he can be a fighter, and he's been fighting in a very positive, confident way right from the start.
You're very right, Larry. He said that in the interview yesterday, and seemingly he did a lot of work in between the last fight to try to attain that also. And he's got a good brother for a sparring partner, which he's tried to be sparring with all of his life.
See the confidence growing.
Oh,
Rafael Marquez catches Johnson with a big right hook to the body.
And Johnson goes down.
5, 6.
I see the look in Johnson's eye that I saw in Alexis Aguero, the second fight when he fought Aaron Pryor. And is this worth it?
It'll be another test of survival here for Mark Two-Shot Johnson. Late in the 8th round, Marquez connects with a right hand. Tony Weeks waves it off.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Tony Weeks waves off the 10 count and calls a halt to the bout. The official time, 2 minutes, 41 seconds of round number 8. The winner by knockout victory. He is now the USBA Bantamweight champion, de Ciudad de Mexico, Rafael Marquez.
Ok. Caballeros, ustedes recibieron sus instrucciones. Mira, aquí está bien, aquí no. Mira, aquí está bien, aquí no. Dale son todo para arriba. Yo quiero una pre-olímpica. Escúchame, cuídate. ¿Listos? Vámonos.
Let's get it on. Is that what he was saying?
I think his Spanish is getting better.
Larios, a 3-1 favorite to win this fight. An opportunity to move upward and onward.
This should be a collision. Freddie Roach, working in Vasquez's corner, says whoever takes control of the fight early is going to win it. Oscar Larios, talk about a throwback, Roy. He's had 60 fights at age 29. I wouldn't be at all surprised if he winds up in the Julio Cesar Chavez neighborhood with 90, maybe 100 fights in his career.
I wouldn't even, because it doesn't seem as though he's slowing down at all.
Fights the same way he did 4 years ago. There, Vasquez gets him with a left hook and a hard right hand, and Larios goes down.
And he was hit while he was down.
7, 8, venga para acá, venga. ¿Está bien?
A fighter I know who did that got disqualified.
Quick.
Roy Jones, first defeat.
That was a different time and place. Now let's see if Vasquez can go ahead and take advantage of the early damage he's done. And now Larios lands a left hook that knocks Vasquez back and momentarily off balance.
Freddie Roach, the trainer, is convinced that Larios doesn't fight well moving backward, and that's why Vasquez is attacking the way he is.
Well, Jim, do you think Larios remembers that punch now?
Yeah, and I think that was Vasquez's intent, right? to put him right back into round 1 8 years ago.
Remind him early.
Seems to have recovered very nicely this time, as opposed to 8 years ago when he was 20 or 21.
Unless there's any question about whether Larios has his legs back, look at him moving and generally for the moment using his legs to shorten or rather lengthen the round and give himself a better chance to recover.
His leg and those long arms. Look at his jab.
Oscar Larios hadn't had a fight in more than 7 months. That's the longest layoff of his entire career. Maybe the long layoff had something to do with the quick knockdown.
Well, he is showing his versatility here because he can box, and he needs to box to get out of this round.
Yeah, it started as a war. They were going after each other, and Larios has completely changed his pattern already, probably for the purpose of making it out of round 1 and back into the fight.
There's no sense in doing nothing crazy and getting caught with another big punch.
But those 4 punches give Larios a chance to maybe narrow this to a 10-9 round rather than a 10-8 round, because even though he's been down in the knockdown, if he could markedly win the rest of the round, then some judges might give it 10-9.
I don't think so, Jim, because that was a very
brief rally, clean
knockdown, and it's not like he's won every minute since then.
I agree. At the end of the day, most likely that was a 10-8 round. Good left-hand punch to the belly by Larios to punctuate the round. What got Roy Jones disqualified against Montel Griffin in Atlantic City about 9 years ago. Total in round 1, Larios 13 out of 56. He wound up landing more punches in the round than Vasquez. Vasquez was 12 out of 66. Larios averaged 107 punches per round in the second fight between these two fighters 3 years ago. So his punch output was limited in round 1, but of course he was recovering from the knockdown. How's this for a quote from Freddie Roach? And we've seen him with so many great fighters, including, of course, Manny Pacquiao. Roach says of Israel Vasquez, he's the greatest champion I've ever worked with. Nobody comes to the gym with a better attitude. Nobody works harder and more honestly. I've never known a nicer boxer. That's high praise.
Very high praise, especially from a trainer who trains so many different fighters and sees so many different personalities.
And who worked for the great Eddie Futch as his protege and therefore has a really broad vision of what matters in the sport. Vasquez has done well to the body in the last 30 seconds, but Larios just nailed him with a good straight jab. Larios is beginning to get his jab in order. Like that.
He's fighting a very smart fight, Larios, and he's not trying to allow Vasquez an opportunity to trade with him. He's moving around him to the left, using his big jab to keep him off balance so that Larios can't plant on none of those hard punches that he threw early.
Can Larios move like that for 12 rounds? Well, not many fighters could, but he has enormous stamina.
And I happen to believe he would be one to be favorite to be able to do that for 15 rounds.
You miss 15-round fights, Roy?
Yeah, I do.
What about the safety factor?
That's why I understand it and I don't complain about it, but I know a lot of these guys wouldn't be able to survive for 15 rounds in there against a real fighter. But for safety purposes, I think it's the best thing.
Round 2 has been a tactical round with Oscar Larios moving, rotating to his left, occasionally coming back to the right, landing his jab, looking to mix in other punches, and Israel Vasquez trying to find the close quarters that allowed him to do damage in round 1.
And I think the knockdown worked in Larios' favor in round 1 because it made him box more and not try to sit there and go toe-to-toe with Israel.
And the right hand and left hook that Vasquez landed there showed you he's still a threat to do damage with his power.
He definitely is, but he's not getting as much of an opportunity to throw them because Larios is moving so much.
And now Larios sets up a good straight right hand. Jay Nady knew that. Interestingly, and Roy Jones, we need a comment from you on this. Jay Nady refereed the first Hopkins-Taylor fight. Come back to a dramatic and significant rematch 4 months later, and you have the same referee. Quite unusual.
Quite unusual, but I think both guys probably feel as though Jay Nady is the best referee for this fight. To Taylor probably because he feels like Jay Nady is not going to let Bernard get out of hand. Bernard because he wants to prove that I'm not going to cry if y'all just give me what I had last time. So he has a lot of making up to do, and Taylor feels safer.
Nady was the referee for your fight with John Ruiz because clearly the Nevada State Athletic Commission did not want that fight to be marred by holding and clinching. I see him as the enforcer referee here.
I do too, and that's why I think Taylor is comfortable with him, but because Hopkins is trying to win over fans, he has to be comfortable with him.
Same referee, 3 different judges, however, than was the case the first time around.
According to Mark Ratner, the head of the Nevada Commission, he hasn't appointed a referee for a rematch, the same referee for at least a decade. He thinks it might have happened with Bowen Holyfield. He didn't remember. He said it was rare but not unusual, or unusual but not rare.
Round 3 continues between Oscar Larios in the red trunks and Israel Vasquez in the blue. They are fighting for supremacy in the 122-pound weight class. Larios has been the more recognized of the 2 fighters over the course of the past 3 years, largely because in their second fight 3 years ago, he knocked Vasquez out in the 12th round.
That first round knockdown has changed the profile of this fight. Instead of standing toe-to-toe, we're seeing Larios doing more boxing.
And as Roy Jones said, and I totally agree, it's helped him. It's made him fight a smarter fight.
Much smarter fight. He won't throw as many punches because he's using his legs more, and he's not in range as much. But it's better for him to not be in range because he's not the stronger fighter here.
Wonder why he would have come in at 120 and a half. A pound and a half under the limit. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me.
Now Vasquez gets Larios to the ropes, nails him one time, but Larios fires a counter and is able to come back off of the ropes. And now there's blood over the left eye of Oscar Larios, and a big cut. Very big cut. They confused the 10-second mark up at the end of the round. There's still 8 seconds remaining in the round, as you can see. Dr. William Berliner now looking at the left eye of Oscar Larios, and that's a big enough cut to significantly affect the fight. In fact, this fight is over.
Now,
and I'm not sure what caused the cut.
well,
But it looks as though it must have been a punch, because Larios is lifting Vasquez into the victor position.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention, please. Referee Tony Weeks, acting on the advice of the physicians at ringside, calls a halt to this contest because of a severe laceration suffered by Oscar Larios. The cut was caused by a punch. This contest ends in a TKO victory for the now IBF and WBC Super Bantamweight Champion of the world, Israel El Magnifico Vasquez.